Right now, though, very pleased to have with us on the program Todd Vandermine, NRA's Illinois lobbyist. Todd, good evening, sir.
Hey, Cam, how's it going?
Not too bad. Glad you could be with us tonight. The news breaking this afternoon that the Attorney General there in Illinois has decided that the names of firearm owner identification card holders, which would be every legal gun owner in the state of Illinois, that information is public record.
Yep.
So, Todd, what's your reaction to this?
Well, the Attorney General seems to think that gun owners in Illinois are equivalent to sex offenders, and that our names are to be published out there, to be vilified, scorned, or made targets of. Really not sure what her thinking is. We've been unable to get an answer out of her office, or the state police have been unable to get an answer as to why she wants to undo prior precedent. But the Tribune and the Associated Press have put in Freedom of Information Act requests for the FOID card list. She said parts of it have to be turned over. So we were anticipating this, and the state police were doing a yeoman's job of holding off on moving anything and fighting this every step of the way. So we've got bills in the hopper to undo this. And one of them, House Bill 7, will be up for a hearing tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the Judiciary Civil Committee.
Now, was that planned, or did this get expedited as a result of the Attorney General's statement today?
No, when the state police came to us with their concerns about what was going on, I asked them, I said, guys, how long can you drag this out? Because if you can get us to session, I'll have bills in the hopper. And so we wrote the bills, pre-filed them back in December. And it just so happens that they were assigned to committee a week ago, and we're going to move on this one this week. It's up for a hearing tomorrow, and we're going to go after it. And we think we got the votes to get it out of committee. The sponsor, Ron Stevens, called me a little while ago, said he'd been calling judiciary members, and their phones are already starting to ring because of this. A lot of people who may be gun owners who don't think about, the Second Amendment rights every day are really taking this to heart. They don't want their names published out there. I mean, the argument is that you just handed out crooks a target list of homes to case, and you've got a chance that there's going to be, firearms which are easily fensible, highly prized by criminals, and places to go burglarize. Or conversely, you can now have ideas where you may not want to go burglarize because you may run into an armed homeowner.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, we pointed that out. This not only does this hurt gun owners out there, but it hurts non-gun owners out there. It affects everybody.
It does, and so when the reps that I've talked to about this have inquired in the AG's office being unable or having unanswered so far, maybe they'll be in committee tomorrow, and maybe they'll pass up an answer. And if their answer is, well, we think that's what the Freedom of Information Act says, we think they're wrong because there's a clear exemption in there for personal information. And I think that the idea that, the exercising of a fundamental constitutional right and, the nature of the property that you convey, that it is, personal information. So we'll see. But we're also hearing that the city of Chicago has their gun bills in the same committee, and they're going to try to make a run at them tomorrow as well. So looks like we're going to have a busy morning tomorrow, and then we're just going to keep plugging along, going towards our right to carry hearing next week, and I go on the 10th.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Todd, boy, if the Illinois Gun Owners Lobby Day did not just gain new importance here, what an opportunity for gun owners around the state to show their support for each other and show their support for pro-Second Amendment legislation. It seems to me like they've got an excellent opportunity to raise some eyebrows by getting a big turnout.
Well, and another rep told me that people who aren't gun owners, people who don't look at the fight the way we do, this just hits them at a level of privacy and personal invasion that starts to get them to cock their head and think about things. And, the AG may have done us a favor here and kicked over a hornet's nest that a lot of people weren't thinking about. And if they can do this, what else can they do?
Mm-hmm.
I think iGold is timed right this year. You were playing last night the mayor's hissy fit that he had.
Yes.
I mean, he's really becoming irrelevant. I think, that question that they had up there, why don't you ask me a question about guns? Because the Supreme Court has made it kind of moot, Mr. Mayor, and we hear your rantings every 3 to 5 months about this stuff. I talked to somebody who was at that press conference and said he eventually just turned his back and walked away. Wouldn't talk to the press because they wouldn't talk to him about what he wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I loved that. Yeah. Well, Todd, I mean, things are certainly heating up. It's not going to be a quiet rest of the session. I know that.
Oh, no. We're loaded for bear. And the best thing that gun owners can do is, one, start calling your rep, start calling your senator, tell them no to the Chicago agenda, no to the Attorney General's agenda, yes to right to carry and, Otis McDonald, and just keep pounding that. And we're hoping that we'll figure out what some movement might look like in the Senate here pretty quick. And if not, show up on your only gun owners lobby day, come down and hold your rep accountable, hold your senator accountable. And if they happen to be Democrats and have been supporting anti-gun leadership, then it looks like it's getting time to hold them accountable for those decisions as well.
All right, Mr. Vandermide, sir, glad you could join us tonight, and we'll talk to you again soon.